So I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, and I haven't. Okay. A few reasons I haven't is because I thought I was gonna get a flip video camera for Christmas, and I didn't. So I was just gonna be like holding it out in front of me. And I have a Nikon camera, but I hate using the video on it. I really do, because it's so bulky. I have a Canon camera too, but I really don't like using the video on that either. And I didn't know if I wanted to come talk to you guys about this now or until Friday, but I think I want to talk about this now. Um, it has been a really, like, December was a really rough month, okay? And I am pissed and I am angry and I'm hurt. So I got really sick December 19th, and December 20th, I ended up in the hospital. I had to have 3 bags of fluid and 2 Zofran just to keep anything down, okay? And my Um, I called my doctor the next day to be like, hey, look, I have a UTI and they told me that I need to start taking this medicine. Is it safe to take with the medicine that you said? Sorry, you guys, my nose itches. Is it okay to take with the medicine that you guys said that I have to start on the 21st? I had already called them the day before on the 20th to tell them that I was sick and I really needed some help. No one called me back. When the nurse called me back, it was like, mm, you're lucky. You're lucky as hell I had just like started to feel a little bit better. You're lucky as hell. Cause let me tell you, if you would have said that shit to my face, I would have punched you. Plain and simple. Uh, Pretty much criticized me and put me down for going to the hospital without waiting for them to call me back. I spent from December 19th to December 20th till 2 a.m. with my head in a toilet. I could not keep down water. I could not keep down crackers. Nothing stayed down. It was horrible. I felt like I was having contractions. I'm not joking. Like, there was tightening in my back and in my stomach, and it was like just full on Braxton Hicks is what it felt like. And I was like, what the hell? This should not be happening yet. Well, I was severely dehydrated. So for the fact of the matter was, for her to yell at me, I was like, what the fuck? And that got me thinking, am I happy with my doctor? I'm not happy with my doctor. I'm not. Um, I am sure that he's a great doctor, but he is not the right doctor for me. He's not. Here's the thing, okay? I asked him what kind of bacterial infection I had. He told me, oh, it's just an infection. Don't worry about it. I said, but I'm not familiar with bacterial infections. I don't know anything about them. The only infection that I am familiar with is UTIs because I do commonly get them. I don't get them as much as many as the women I know do. I get them twice a pregnancy, and then sometimes if I'm not pregnant, I do get them. And I will say it's because I probably drink too much soda and not enough water, or I don't drink enough because I go throughout the day and I forget to drink things. So I mean, understandable. He just told me not to worry about it. My husband kind of looked at him and looked at me, and I was like, okay. Then, as we sat there, I had mentioned to him that I would really like a ultrasound of the heart to really look at that heart. I want to make sure that everything looks good. That all 4 chambers are there. Is there any way that maybe if we could tell if there's any holes in it? Um, Maybe a heart murmur. I mean, can we really give a detailed ultrasound? He told me they don't exist, which I know is a lie because I know at least 3 women who have had them, and I know one woman who just went and had a detailed ultrasound of the heart with the baby still in her uterus. I know it's harder to pinpoint, but why tell me that they don't? And I mean, oh, and I even was like, oh, so you don't do them? I'm gonna have to hire somebody to do it. I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. And he was like, no, nobody does it at all. I was like, okay. And he goes, we don't even check the heart when you're pregnant. We just glance over it real fast to make sure that it's beating, and then that's it. They can't do that. That's not how that works. They're supposed to check for all 4 chambers. I don't know why he would say that, but that's not how it works. I had mentioned to him that I want to be when we hit about 28 weeks, can we check the lungs? Then can we go back and check the lungs at 36 weeks? He asked me why it was so important for me to check the lungs. Can't we just check once and be fine with it? No, we cannot just check once and be fine with it. If you are telling me that my insurance will not cover for me to have um multiple ultrasounds, okay, I will pay out of pocket for these ultrasounds. This is important to me. He ignored me. Okay. Um, I have migraines and they've been getting really bad to the point to where, my head hurts nonstop. You're fine, don't worry, just take a Tylenol. Okay. Okay. When I first went in because I had bleeding, you're fine, don't worry, it'll pass. Everything looks good. Okay. His motto is I'll do the worrying, not you. So I really started to get bothered by this. Um, I am 14 weeks and 5 days. 14 weeks and 6 days. Tomorrow's 15 weeks. And I got to the point to where I wasn't comfortable. I am not comfortable with this doctor. I feel as if he has pushed off a lot of my questions. He's ignored me. I feel like he thinks I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, he had no interest at all in my daughter's birth. The first thing he said to me when he met me was, "Okay, you're a repeat C-section." He did not ask me my name. He did not ask me how I was doing that day. He did not say a single damn thing to me besides when he first walked through the door, looked down at his chart, sat down, and goes, "Okay, you're a repeat C-section." Who the hell does that? So I have spent a lot of time soul searching and trying to figure out what I want to do. I've made my decision. I am switching doctors. I actually have a doctor's appointment Friday with a brand new doctor. I have heard really good things about this doctor. I'm a little nervous, but I think it'll be okay. Um, as a woman, I have the right to tell you if I want a C-section or not. As a woman, I have the right to decide what goes on with my body. No other doctor, no other person has the right to tell me what I can and cannot do. I know the risk. I know what can happen. Do not tell me I can't do something. If there is a legitimate reason why I can't do it, then okay. But here's the truth, okay? If you tell me, oh, it's because you've had 2 C-sections, that's bullshit. I was forced into both C-sections. I did not have gestational diabetes. I was not allowed out of bed the first time. My first pregnancy, okay, when I went in, they gave me Pitocin, they popped my water, and they would not let me out of bed. I was not allowed to walk. I was not allowed to labor. I had to lay still ugh, from 5:30 a.m. until 7 p.m. And when the doctor came in at 7 p.m., he didn't even check me. You know what he said to me? "I'm tired of waiting. Let's get this show on the road. Sign the forms. Let's do a C-section." Seriously. I was bullied into an epidural by saying that if I did not get my epidural at noon, I would not be allowed to have an epidural at all. What the hell? You can't do that. I was 18. I didn't know. It was my first kid. And my mother let them bully me. She didn't say a damn thing about it. She's a completely different side. She said I was screaming and crying. My husband was there, and he's like, "What?" But then again, my mother's gone wacko. No joke. She's told me I have an abortion, and she's flipped the hell out this pregnancy. I'm not even answering my phone any longer because of her. So, um, that was my first pregnancy. I had no true reason why I couldn't get out of bed. There was nothing wrong with me. He just wouldn't let me. The hospital wouldn't let me. And I didn't know to ask those questions back then. My second pregnancy, He told me that we would do a VBAC, and then at 30 weeks, he was like, by the way, we're scheduling you for a C-section. And I said, but you said we were going to do a VBAC. He said, oh, no, I don't do VBACs. Yet, he had just told me and my husband at 14 weeks he does. The hell? So I got forced into another C-section, and I couldn't find a doctor in time. I was screwed. I couldn't find somebody to switch my insurance over with. I just couldn't. So this time, I'm like, I'm not going to take no for an answer unless you give me a legitimate reason. So I found a few doctors who all work in the same area in the same doctor's office who believe in VBACs. And almost all of them do VBACs up to the fourth. The fourth, okay? Like they'll do 4 and beyond, or they'll do 2 and beyond. They believe in it. So I have a meeting with one of them on Friday, and I'm excited. We're going to do a sono and all that, and we're going to discuss the possibility of me having a VBAC, and I'm excited for that. You know, I was forced into the other two. It was not just, oh, your decision. And I'm going to tell you this. If they would have told me that after having a C-section, I would have never been allowed to have a vaginal birth, I wouldn't have signed that damn paper. They didn't tell me that. That should be something that they have to tell you. They should have to tell you that if you have a C-section, the chances of you having a vaginal birth are slim. It should be a damn law. It really should be. I'm sorry, but it should be. Because it's unfair to women who are forced into one, who do not know that, who are 18 or younger and are like, what? Or at least 21 and younger and have pregnant with their first child. That is not something that women who are forced into a C-section thinks to ask at the time. It's not. There was nothing wrong at all with my baby. Nothing. Their heart was fine. Everything was good. Okay? So I'm excited because Friday I'm going to meet a new doctor and ask them. I've been interviewing midwives for just in case I decide to go the midwife route. I've been speaking to doulas. I mean, I'm seriously, no, I'm done with that other doctor's office. I'm done. If they tell me, oh, well, you can't have a C-section because, you've had 2 C-sections and because of the scarring tissue, if that's what they're worried about, then yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I have my mother, though. She's like beeping in on me, screaming at me, telling me that you're going to die, you're going to die. Don't you know that your uterus can rupture? I know the chance of my uterus rupturing. I also know that plenty of women have had very successful VBACs. I know some of these women. I'm part of I Can. I've heard people talk. I've listened to them. I've done my research. Okay? And then my mother was like, oh, it's easier to recover from a C-section than it is to recover from a vaginal birth. No, you need to get in bed. You have school tomorrow. Good night. Sorry. It's the last day of, winter break, and it's hard to get them to go to bed. But she was like, yeah, it's easier to recover from a C-section than it is to recover from a vaginal birth. Bullshit. Bullshit. Let me tell you something, okay? I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't shower on my own. I had a catheter for over 24 hours. I had a morphine drip for over 24 hours. I cried and I screamed. They didn't even bring me my pills. There was a point 2 days in where the pain was so bad and I was crying so hard and I kept begging them for my Loratab. Okay, I kept begging them to bring it to me and they kept telling me they would. 30 minutes passed. I called again. Nothing. An hour passed. My best friend got up, went down there and told them she needs her fucking medicine. I was an hour past when I was supposed to take it. The pain was so bad. I wanted to die. I thought I was going to die from the pain. Don't tell me that having a C-section is easier than having a vaginal birth. I've had 2. I could barely move. I had to have somebody help me shower. Do you know how embarrassing that is? And it wasn't a nurse. Okay? I mean, I couldn't even get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom by myself. When my husband didn't wake up, my best friend, I'd go, hey, hey, she'd wake up and help me to the bathroom and help me pull my panties back up. I mean, come on. There is, I know that there are risks with either surgery or with either ways, but there's no way that having a vaginal birth could be harder than having a C-section. I understand that you tear. I understand maybe if you have like a third or fourth degree burn or fourth degree tear. I've had women say that they wish they had a C-section. I get that, but it's major surgery. And the fact of the matter is they will cut through the same scar tissue again. And I don't know how many people know this, but do you know that if they cut through the same scar tissue, do you know that you can have added build-up scar tissue? And then in a few years from the road now, I could have to go have another surgery for them to remove scar tissue from my lining. That will be another major surgery I have to have. If I can go the easy route and have a vaginal birth, if somehow, my body cooperates and the baby cooperates and everything looks good and I can, why not do that? I don't understand. I mean, if I think I can do it, if my body does it, if I'm pushing for it, if I'm positive about it, why not do it? If something goes wrong, I'm going to be in a hospital. If the baby goes into distress, we'll have an emergency C-section. It's one of those things, don't tell me that, oh, yeah, well, you can't because it's dangerous. Giving birth is dangerous. Going out in the world each day is dangerous. Life is dangerous. So I've been dealing with a lot of that from my mom. A lot of just, and I thought a lot of it was, oh, maybe she's concerned. But now she calls me every day to yell at me about it. And I'm starting to think it's not a concern. I'm starting to think it's a, I'm going to push my beliefs on you and you're going to do what I want to do. And I'm not putting up with that. So it's been a long road and I'm nervous and I'm scared. And I have a lot more I want to talk to you guys about, but this is like 17 minutes long, so we're just going to kind of cut it. We're going to do a nursery video in the next few weeks, hopefully. Um, yeah. Oh, put your votes in. Friday, we will find out the sex of the baby. They're actually going to look Friday, and they're pretty sure they're going to be able to tell. You can tell as up to early as 15 weeks is what I've been told. And I found at 16 weeks I was pregnant, or 16 weeks with my daughter. So we'll see. I'm excited. So boy or girl, maybe? I don't know. I'm hoping for a girl now. Bye, y'all.